What's going on, everyone, and welcome back to the channel. So in this video, what I wanted to do is actually go over my experience with a paid trading Discord group. So if you're someone who has been into the social media world and you've seen people who've been trading stocks, you've probably come across ads, people who have been telling you, hey, I have a Discord group, join my Discord group, here's the link, right? Now, a lot of people are skeptical of those groups, especially when there are paid groups. So maybe you've joined a free one yourself or you have experience in both. I wanted to actually detail the one group that I joined. I want to show you guys what I've gotten from this group over the past 6 months and how I've been able to more than triple my money with the use and the help of this group. And also, I'd like to mention that it is not going to be an advertisement for this specific group. I will talk about the group and it's going to be up to you. If you think it's cool, you can join. You don't have to join. It's going to be my experiences, what I've learned, and is it worth it? If you can afford it, is it worth doing something like this? Whether it's this group, a different group, is it worth it? So let's get through my process of how I came to this point, because there were some things that had to kind of happen before I got there. Of course, you're probably going to have not the same exact path, but you've probably gone a similar way when it came to your trading. You've probably experienced something that caused you to think maybe it's worth, joining a group, paying for mentorship, or doing something to get other people's opinions and ideas on how to do this. And so for me, it was a couple years back. I was actually trading options, and when I was trading options, it was basically my dad who got me into it, and that was great. But the problem was I really didn't know what I was doing, and so I ended up blowing my entire savings at the time back in just before sophomore year of high school, freshman to sophomore year. I got into it, and then early sophomore year, I blew my entire savings. So I had student debt. I had no money in my checking account because I had a part-time job at school, but really wasn't making much money there at all, and I just blew all my savings. So at that point, I was in a pretty tough position. Now, time goes on, and I can explain what happened in between on a later date, but last summer, okay, so fast forward to last summer, so this is now about 2 years later. Last summer, what I decided to do was say, I had some extra money. I was working an actual internship, and I had, significant money coming in as well as some other sources. And so I said, okay, let me actually pay for a course, which came with a Discord group. Now, that course is actually Learn, Plan, Profit by Ricky Gutierrez. Nothing bad about that course at all. I actually link it down below because I've used it. I got value from it. It's like if you're someone who's basically needs to get into stocks, technical analysis, basics, fundamental analysis, that is the place I would go. And for the price, it's not that expensive at all. So I paid $300 for that. That comes with the Discord group as well. And you could also watch, Ricky trade live every single day. So as a part of that, and then I was trading options because I didn't have that much money. I had some money, but not that much. And so I was taking and applying the things that he was talking about and then trading that with options. And then I did well. I had my good days, I had my bad days. I think I had a day where I was $1,500 up. I also had days where I was down 500, down 1,000, right? So I have my ups and my downs. And then that kind of got me, I made some money, lost some money. That kind of stumbled me into penny stocks because I wasn't finding consistency with what I was doing, and I was really struggling with the facts that at any point, if I'm going to swing trade, because I couldn't really day trade, I didn't have the money to day trade, I wasn't using an offshore broker, so I had to abide by the PDT rule, which means I can only make 3 day trades in a 5-day trading period. So I was if I'm going to swing trade, if I'm going to day trade, I only do it 3 times per week, and if I want to swing trade, well, that's cool, but the problem was when I would hold stocks overnight, all of a sudden Trump would tweet, there would be some news, and the stock market would come down or would go up when I wanted to go down if I had put options, right? And so I realized, I can trade, basically during the day. I can make day trades. I can do it somewhat profitably, somewhat consistently, at least more wins than losses, but I can only do that 3 times per week. And myself, it was just messing with my head, messing with my psychology, messing with my emotions when I can only do that 3 times per week. So I'm trying to pick certain trades, I'm trying to go bigger than I should, and things like that were happening. So that was not ideal. So fast forward a couple more months, school begins. This is my senior year of college. And now, school begins, it's September, and I come across a podcast. And the podcast is actually by Apple Kreider, if you guys know who he is. He had a great or he still has a podcast, Young Smart Money, I believe what it's called. And the podcast had David Kang on. So David Kang is the guy who created the prosperity trading team, Mr. Investor. That's how he went by it back when he didn't want people to know who he was. And then his name is David Kang, and he has his Instagram as Trader Kang. And I came across a podcast he was on with Apple Kreider. I was driving somewhere and I was listening to the podcast and I was like, hey, this is actually pretty cool, because I was getting into trading and I was like, well, let me check this guy's group out. So I paid for his group. Now, it was $99 per month at the time. And so that was the first paid Discord, the first like paid, like pure Discord group. Because Ricky's course was really, I was paying for the course for like $300. I think you can even get a discount, but $300, you know, for the course, that I felt was fair. Then for the group, it's $99 a month. It's like, okay, like, let me try it a month, see what happens, maybe a couple months, you know, worst case scenario, I spend $300. I say, okay, it's not for me, and I move on, and it's $300. So like I'm paying for anything crazy. So I join it, and then what happens is I'm starting to see how it's working. And I actually, when I first joined, I had no idea what really came with the group, and that's what I want to kind of explain now. But my results, now we'll dive into how I got there in a sec, but my results after joining this group, I went from, you know, not really being consistently profitable, struggling with the swing trading aspect, to really finding swing trading and taking into account. Now, of course, if you guys have been following along, you know, you've seen this happen. You've seen it live. I had put $300 into my Webull account, okay? That account was going to be for swing trading only. So I was going to swing trade only. Now, his group, you have a lot of different things with this group. Primarily what you'll see if you follow him on social media or if you heard about his group, you'll primarily see the day trade side, people making, you know, X per day. The other day he made like 86 grand in one day. That was him with a lot more money, a lot more capital than most people will have to start, but that's what he did. And that's more the day trading side. So a part of that group, there's a swing trading channel. There's a group where we all swing trade, but we all, you know, talk about swing trading plays and stuff like that. So I said, okay, well, I can't really day trade, or I had, you know, only do that 3 times per week, you know. And let me jump in and see how the swing trading works. And I have found that to be absolutely incredible for me. At least it works for me. And that's kind of what you're looking for. When it comes to trading, you got to just find what works best for you. So $300 goes into the account. Okay, $300 is in. And then what happens is I lose about $75. So my account drops down about $225, okay? It's all documented on Webull too, which is cool. So I'm not lying with this stuff. I show you guys all this stuff all the time. It drops down to $225. Then I really come across a swing trading. This is probably like October-ish, okay? So this is like October, getting into November of 2019. So we're getting close to where we are now. I start the swing trades. I start seeing, okay, like, what does this mean? You know, people are talking about this stock. One of the guys who's, you know, very experienced says, hey, you know, here's my alert. Here's what I'm doing. Here's what I would do here. Okay, let me see what he does, and then I try to understand what's going on. So I jump in a trade. You know, I jump in, you know, maybe $50, $100, you know, a position. You know, nothing crazy. Was for my account size, yeah, it was probably a little too much. But you know, at the time, what's a couple $100, right? It's not, if I lose it, I don't really care. So I said, okay, let me, you know, put $100 into this trade. The trade happens. Also, then, you know, a couple days later goes by. You know, nothing happens. The stocks are sitting. It's not really moving. A couple days later goes by. All of a sudden, I notice. I wake up and everyone's in the chat going, "Boom! You know, winner again!" Like, what's going on? And so I check and I see that the stock is up 100%. Now, this actually happened a couple times in the first few months. The stock that I had played was up 100% in the morning. Now, it was like 7:30 a.m. The stock's up 100%. I didn't even know, you know, much goes on pre-market hours, because pre-market hours, you know, you really have from 4 a.m. Eastern, you know, to 9:30 a.m. And 9:30 a.m. is normal hours until 4 p.m. And then from 4 p.m. to 8 p.m. you actually have extended or after hours trading. So I was like, what's going on? And so then it started to click. And I said, okay, well, this company just came out with news. And I started to realize, then I found that David, right, in the alerts from this group, because he puts out alerts every single day, they started trading the stock. And so his alerts would buy and, you know, buy here, aim to sell here, or he's looking to buy here, you know, look, sell here, you know, and so that's what he was giving for alerts. And so I was like, okay, you know, what's going on here? And I realized that it's a rinse and repeat cycle. Now this is months later, this is what I'm realizing, but I started to see that early on. So this is actually pretty cool. So the swing trading side of these penny stocks is really what we're trading on with this group is penny stocks. What's different from Ricky's course, where he doesn't talk about penny stocks, he says stay away. We look for swing trading. We look for actively downtrending stocks that have kind of developed a support, maybe are starting an uptrend with potential news catalysts, with potential spikes in the past. So you can see that they've spiked up, you know, in prior months or in prior years. And what does that tell you? That they potentially may do the same again. And so it's like a rinse and repeat. And so we're entering positions, you know, before the news, or trying to, you know, speculate on, you know, what's a good play, what has potential for news, where's the money flowing into the economy. Right now it's, you know, that biotech, pharmaceutical companies, you know, where is it going to be going in the future, getting into those plays early. And then, you know, many times companies will announce the news anyway. And so, you know, it's not betting on the news, but you're kind of positioning yourself so that if it comes out, you know, you're going to be in a really good spot. And so that's what happened. And I started seeing, massive returns on these plays. Now, of course, not every play is going to be that big, and most of them, I don't actually shoot for 100%. But that was what I kind of found with swing trading, and little by little, that account has now grown to just nearly, $7,000. And of course, I have put money into the account. But, for a few months ago, for me to have, $300 put it in, that falls to $225. Then from $225, it's just, it's the step up the ladder, taking steps up the ladder. And now the account has grown to, nearly $7,000, with a couple $1,000s of that being pure profit. Now I've added some money because, I'm doing well. So I want to keep adding money so I have more capital so I can essentially make more money with my account. But that's my results from at least the swing trading side. Now, swing trading is not going to be for everyone, and I know that's, of course, the case. So what do you get with this group, and what was my experience? Well, right now, I believe the group is actually now $150 per month, okay? So what happens is people who got in earlier, who got in and were paying $99 a month, they don't have to pay more. But it's $100, $150 a month now, and you can pay yearly, so you can actually cut that down. I now pay yearly. I actually upgraded my membership to the yearly membership. So I paid like a one-time or once every year. It's a discounted rate, so it's awesome. So for me, it works great. And what do you get with this group? Well, the main appeal, if you're someone who follows David on social media or comes across this group, you probably don't come across it for the swing trading group, which is fine. Most people probably come across it and looking to day trade, right? They're looking to day trade, and of course, there's many ways to get around the PDT rule, going to offshore brokers, opening up a cash account so you can actually day trade as much as you want, which is I've also now done. So I have my swing trade account and my day trade account. Now I've had my third consistently profitable week in a row day trading, and swing trading now I'm aiming for about 5% per week. Past couple weeks I actually blew that out the water, and then this past week I was like 4.5% or so, and so it wasn't the exact goal, but it was up there. So I'm having consistently profitable weeks on both sides, swing and day trading. Now it's been about 6 or 7 months, maybe 8 months or so now since I officially joined the group, but about 6 months since I really knew what I was doing, right? Before I had any idea what was really going on. So in the group, what you're going to get is you're going to get real-time alerts every single day. So David's going to come on. He even has someone else who comes on in the afternoon. You're going to get real-time buy, sell alerts. Now, they are, of course, recommendations. They're not exactly, hey, buy, sell here, But my experience has been this. If you were to simply just play the alerts, have proper risk management in place, okay, where if it goes down a certain percentage, you cut it. Have a higher reward than you're willing to risk, right? David's profitable over 75% of the time. And people have done the math. I haven't done the math myself and found that he was like an 88% success rate. Now, that's insane. So he knows what he's doing. The reason why many traders will come join this group and still fail is because they don't know how to manage their risk. They will cut something, then it'll come back, or they'll play the losers. They won't play all the trades. They'll play the losers, right? So it's going to be, you're going to take some time to figure out how you want to work it. But really, once you start to see how he's trading, what he's looking for, you won't really need to worry about the alerts. The alerts will be a great guide. They might point something you might not have seen, but they're going to be a great place to at least show you have support with a play. Like, okay, I was thinking this. Okay, now it's a second support. He says he likes it too. Boom, I'm going to make this trade, right? And so that's what you're going to kind of learn and play your own risk management. And once you do those things, you can be successful when it comes to day trading, as I found. It takes some time. It's not going to be right away, and it's going to be faster for some than others, but that's what I found with this group. On top of that, you get the chat, all the chat features. So you have tons of different channels in the Discord group, the swing channel, the main trading channel, there's the education channels. There's so many channels that you can go to, ask questions, get a ton of information. On top of that, you get access to live scanners. So every single day, I can turn on the voice part of Discord. I can hear David trade live from about 9:15 a.m. until about 12 p.m. Eastern. Every single day, he's going to be talking in your ear trading live, okay? On top of that, you also get scanners. So there's a scanner in the background on the voice, and on top of that, you can actually pull up his scanner, or you can pull up the scanner that he's got, and that scanner is going to be from Trade Idea. So you can see the Trade Idea scanner on your screen. You can pull up on your screen, have a second screen if you want, whatever you want to do, and you can see that. You have access to that. I found that I don't really need to have that too much, but you have access to that. Now, ideally, I would like to upgrade my setup and have multiple screens, but for right now, I'm literally just using a laptop and a phone. So I've found it to work fine. Now I need to upgrade eventually, but for a learning stage, it's worked just fine. Like I mentioned, in those multiple channels, you even get options trading, Forex trading, there's tons of other different trading, not just penny stocks, although a lot of people like to play penny stocks in this group. So if you're someone who's getting in and you want to learn how to trade Apple or Amazon, maybe you can look to the options channel. But ideally, the main bulk of what you're going to find in this group is probably not for you. So it's more penny stocks, more low float, low cap, small cap stocks. That's what you're probably going to be trading mostly in this group if you do join and you follow along. You're also going to get now a beginner trading course that they've come out with, which is also why they've kind of upped the prices. They came out with a beginner trading course, weekly trading recap. So every Sunday we actually have a live Zoom call and we go over the trades the past week, what we saw, what we're looking to next week, and things like that. On top of that, there's hours and hours and hours of educational content in the group. If you guys need books, PDFs, all those things of things, you don't have to pay for a book. It's all probably going to be in there, and you can find those things inside the Discord group. There's links to different things, different books, different materials that you can study to learn a lot of the technical things and things you probably should know before you really start trading with a lot of money. And so you can kind of do that on the weekends or do that at night and then follow along with the group and listen and watch. Even if you're paper trading for the first few weeks or the first month, it's a great place to learn, at least initially. And I would say that you're not going to just come in here, think you could just follow the alerts and make money. Maybe you will make money, but you're going to have a loss. If you need to actually apply, you're going to have losses, right? You're going to need to learn from what's going on. Why did that work? Why did that not work? Why did this stock go down? Why was there an offering, right? So you're going to get caught in things, and if you just think you're going to be able to just come in and absolutely just follow the alerts, you might make some money. If you have absolutely no idea what you're doing, chances are long-term you're going to lose money. So if you're someone who is looking for more guidance, I would really recommend a paid Discord group. Now, this is the only one that I've really paid for, at least for the penny stocks, low floats, that I can really back up because I haven't tried other ones. Now, I'm sure there's other ones that are great out there, and of course, do your own research or just try them out yourself and see what they offer. But for me, this group has been awesome, and I think it's going to pay a lot of dividends down the line, because as I'm getting better with my day trading, growing that account. As I'm getting better at swing trading, growing that account. Now, on top of listening to people in the group and following some plays, I'm playing my own plays at times now, which I'm also finding to be successful, And so you start stacking these things up and you can become, an independent trader, which is going to be your ultimate goal. And when you can become independent and you don't need a group, that's where I think you open a lot of doors. And so that's when you can really see, the growth of a trader, and that's the point of these groups. Maybe it's cool to have the support, all the time to fall back on, but ultimately you want to be able to come away from this group in about a year, maybe 2 years, who knows how long it's going to take for everybody, in about a year or 2 years, and say, I don't need the group anymore. Now, if you like it, cool, you can enjoy it, talk to people, it's cool. People are going back and forth all the time, make great connections in these groups, but ultimately you want to be able to step away from the group and really, understand why things are happening, and if you didn't have the group, still be able to make money trading. And that's kind of the whole point and the whole goal with the group. Now, I think that's really cool because it's not like, okay, pay me, and really David said it before too. It's not about, he doesn't care about, paying him. He can make money in the markets. He doesn't need people in the group to, pump stocks, and that's not what he does, okay? He doesn't need you to join the group. He can go do it himself, but the point is he's trying to teach people that there's other ways to make money, and trading stocks is an amazing way that he has found, works for him, and he can make money trading stocks. And so he wants people to learn how to do it, how it works, so that they can go out and do that and really enjoy what they're doing. And so if it's something that you find to be really, awesome and you really enjoy it, that's the point of this group. So hopefully that makes sense. If you have any questions, again, leave them down below. There is a link down below to the group, so if you want to check it out, it's down below, as well as the Ricky Gutierrez course. I have both of those down below. 2 things I've paid for myself. I can back them up. They help me. Now, they're going to help everyone differently. You're going to take away what you want differently. Maybe Ricky's course is best for you, and you can follow him and follow his strategy with more like the larger, bigger name stocks. Or maybe you find the penny stocks to be best for you. So it's going to be up to you. I have just found penny stocks to be a lot more predictable in my head, because once you understand the patterns, once you understand why companies do certain things, it becomes a lot easier to position yourself to be profitable with them. At least that's what I found. So hopefully it makes sense. You guys know down below, 2 links down below, in case for those 2 courses, and also for Webull. I use Webull myself. You can get 2 free stocks when you join Webull. First free stock, just and open an account. Second free stock when you deposit $100, a stock valued up to $1,400. So in the comments down below, leave any questions and leave the stocks you get from Webull when you get those free stocks. I'd be happy to hear and talk to you guys in the comments down below. Posting Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and Saturday. Saturday, guys, going over my weekly trading update videos, talking about the top stocks I am looking at into next week, what I'm holding, what I'm playing, my exact portfolio. We're going into it every single Saturday. So make sure you subscribe, guys. Hit the thumbs up button, and I will see you in the next one. Peace.